How's it going, creeps? Welcome to the Friday Night Creepshow. As always, I'm your host, Drucifer. And if you're new here, every Friday night we show a different horror movie and we hang out and talk horror. Tonight we're going to be checking out the movie Dirty Jersey from writer-director David Keane, who is also going to be hanging out in the chat with us. You could see him down there, Dirty Jersey. So feel free to say hi. Feel free to talk to him, ask him questions, and same for you. If there's any information you want to tell us about your movie, feel free to throw it in the chat. So with that, David is an indie filmmaker from New Jersey, and if you guys like the movie, I would subscribe to his YouTube channel because there is going to be a lot more stuff coming there in the coming weeks. So what we're going to do from the beginning here is what we normally do every Friday night. We go through and we'll check out the IMDb page for Dirty Jersey. So shout out to them for actually having a IMDb page. Definitely makes things a little bit better, in my opinion. So we're going to check out the IMDb page and wait for some of these guys to get in here before we jump this movie off. So Frank, glad to see you out there. Chuck, as well as Dirty Jersey. Awesome to have you here. So quick backstory, real quick, of why I decided to show this film. Well, one, the movie art or the poster art is super sick, and so I just happened to come across the film on X, right, on Twitter, and noticed that David, or the Dirty Jersey account, was posting it up and promoting it, and I was like, well, let me check that out, and didn't watch the film yet, but then I hit them up and said, hey, like, can I show this on a Friday Night Creepshow? And they said, for sure. So that's how that all came to be. So again, if you're new here, sometimes we show old movies, sometimes we show new movies, sometimes we show indie movies, and I love showing indie movies, especially if I can get a hold of the filmmakers, right? Just so, not only do we get their first-hand perspective on the film itself, but, just being a filmmaker myself, I love the fact of connecting with other filmmakers and also doing my part to help bring eyes on awesome projects. So I definitely think we're in for a treat because although I haven't seen this, right, I did kind of scrub through it on YouTube without watching any of it, and it looks like it's pretty well done. So let's hop over to the IMDb page and let's check it out real quick. So has everybody out there been having a pretty good week thus far? I myself am trying to get over a sickness. Turned 38 today, of all things. So my wife's birthday was yesterday on Thursday. Mine was today, and our anniversary is tomorrow. So, what's up, Dead End? Glad that you guys made it. Dirty Jersey, I can see that you brought your crew with you, so I'm glad to see all of you guys out there as well. All right, so here we are on the Dirty Jersey IMDb page. So the synopsis is 3 friends go for an off-roading adventure in the Pine Barrens, but their friendship is torn to pieces along with them. So sounds pretty sick. You guys know that I am a stickler for synopsises and a stickler for log lines. I hate when they're over too wordy, and I hate when they are too long, right? I think this one fits the mold just perfectly, gives me enough of what I need to know without too much. So as you guys said, director David Keane, writer David King, and Tyler Mulholland Gain. Stars Sean Burns, Chandler Corley, Essex, and Casey Donnelly. And we'll scroll down and see any more of the cast here. Well, here we go. Top of cast right here. So, Sean Barnes, Chandler Corley, Casey Donnelly, Amanda, am I saying this correctly? Frass, sorry if I'm butchering that, and Amy, Teresa, and Kathleen Simard. So sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but I see you in the chat there. So here is the cast here, guys. Feel free to click through their IMDb's and check them out and check out what other projects they've been a part of. So, lead actress is in the house. So Marge, awesome. Glad that you're here. Amanda's gaining traction, John Hart says, and first one was perfect. Okay, good. I butcher names on this channel. Like, I feel like I have pretty good reading comprehension, but like some of the names I just cannot do. I don't know why. Yeah, so which is customary here after we check out the synopsis and we check out the IMDb page, we do a snack check. So let me know what you guys are snacking on out there. Normally, I'm loaded down with snacks and candy and chips and all the bad stuff. And here lately, it's been Halloween candy. I'm a sucker for Halloween marketing, but it's just coffee. Like I said, getting over a sickness, so it's just coffee in the Cinema Creep mug, and that's all I got tonight. So if you got some snacks, let me know what you got. And then we're going to kick this movie off. This is on YouTube. So we're really going to just watch it off of YouTube. So if there's ads, my bad, guys. Just bear with it. We'll mute them. We'll get through them as quick as we possibly can. And let's see if I can blow this up anymore. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to see if I can't get rid of this black border here. Looks like it's not going to let me for some reason. So I don't think... So what I'm going to do is what I don't normally do. And I'm going to take my stupid face away so we can see more of this movie. So give me a second to do that. And here we go. All right, so again, this is Dirty Jersey from Peachy Keane Productions. Feel free to talk to these guys out here in the chat. What's up, Confidence? Glad that you made it through, man. We are watching a movie from Dirty Jersey, or called Dirty Jersey, from Peachy Keane Productions. All right, guys, here we go.
He's not with you?
No.
Well, can you at least just tell me when you're coming back? Because you can't just hide at the cabin.
No.
Well,
Everything's fine. We're fine.
No, you don't sound fine. And I don't understand how you can just take Chester out of school like this. Because he needs to go back.
I'm not coming back.
Ever? You're not coming back ever? Look, I'm really trying to understand your thought process.
Don't worry.
I don't know how I'm not supposed to worry.
We're just on a little getaway, me and him. Chester, no! Get out! Out! Out!
I'll quit smoking when you quit smashing your head.
I'm not saying quit. I'm just saying do less.
You sure you got the quad today? How many fingers am I holding up? I'm just a concerned citizen, man. Concussions are no joke.
Yeah, I told you I'm fine. Can you not tell Marge?
Hold up. She don't know you're hurt?
No, she doesn't go to my games. She doesn't like sports, so.
Well, if that's the case, you sure she's gonna be down to ride the trails today? You did at least mention that, right?
I mean, it takes a surprise to have a surprise birthday gift, don't it? Don't you know how birthdays work?
Don't you know how relationships work?
She's my girlfriend, so yeah.
You know what you're doing for your birthday yet?
Nate won't tell me.
Spooky. How's about you ditch those boys already and we celebrate your birthday the right way?
I can't bail on Fields. He's hardly ever in town.
Exactly, babe. Speak of the devil.
You know, it's really bad for your health.
So is being a bitch.
Okay, yeah, you don't say that. That's fine.
So, suck my nose
Yep.
till my head caves, bozo.
Jesus Christ. That's a very specific insult. Who says that?
Kim, that too?
Okay.
Did you just get your car fixed?
Yeah, I just came from Seth's.
Missed a spot. How do I look?
Why don't you change into something you can get mud on?
Mud. We're not going to dinner?
No, we're gonna eat, but wear something shitty. Wear your overalls.
What the hell's wrong with my overalls?
Today, at nearly half its original size, the Pine Barrens
When did you start smoking?
Plain, New Jersey.
No, it's cute. I got dog.
We don't just get to play the dog card
It's
and
fine.
not follow
Let's
through.
take care of this, and then we'll.
Fields.
Oh boy. Yeah, we'll do that. Look, let's just do this. Seth, this puppy is
You
cute.
just play the dog
Happy
card.
birthday! Surprise? So you know how relationships work? Huh?
Let's go to hell, Seth.
I'm just saying. My girlfriend wouldn't be pissed on her birthday.
Dude, what girlfriend, dude?
Can't say I told you so.
I don't need this right now, Kim.
What you need is a good time. I can come pick you up.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna give him another chance.
How many chances does the boy need?
He's here. I gotta let you go.
No.
Hey,
Hi. What's this?
you didn't think I was dumb enough just to get you a quad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah.
This is sweet. What's with the garlic?
You're a chef.
And you're an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I messed everything up, the whole birthday thing, but I planned this whole day out, and I thought it'd be different than boring old dinner.
You know, I've never ridden one of these.
It's easy to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say?
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Fine.
So we going or what?
This devil's wasted on the souls of you and I. He'll knock you every step he loves it when you hide. But he'll lie and wait until it's too late. This devil's older than the hill.
Yo, dickhead, what the fuck you doing?
Pumping gas.
You don't pump the gas around here, I do.
Yep. Okay.
Not from around here, are you?
Apparently not.
Welcome to Jersey, asshole.
Good going.
You'll grab me a pack of dads, dumbass?
Sure we're gonna be able to make it out to the Pine Barrens? It's getting pretty late.
Yeah, we're not gonna go all the way in. About an hour in, hour out. Just for you.
Nathan said it rained last night. It's gonna be like super muddy.
Yeah, a little mud never hurt anybody.
It's gonna hurt my overalls.
I'll buy you new ones.
Yeah, like you have $85 to spend, college boy. Oh, okay. What is this?
Dinner.
Are
Bon
you
appetit.
serious?
Tuned her up this morning.
Yeah. You gonna help?
I'm in the middle of dinner.
See that. Wow. Let's probably take it off. I'm really messing up while we're out. Dude. Fuck me. You're a mechanic, right?
Yeah, fuck off.
A bad mechanic. So just quads. Just brake. Oh!
Whoa. Where did you guys find this place?
You'd be amazed what you could find out here.
Are you sure we're good to be here?
Yeah, we're cool. People smoke here all the time. Smoke?
I'm good.
Oh, sick! I didn't see these last time. Ugh. Here.
Ah, White Rabbit. I remember this. My brother used to read these to me when I was little. I never got the flute bowl thing, though.
The flute bowl? It's the cosmic being that puts the powers in the boots.
Yeah, but like it's just a rabbit, right?
Actually, it's an interdimensional entity that looks like a rabbit.
I have to admit, birthdays kind of suck the older you get, but I actually had fun today.
Well, the fun's just getting started.
What is this? I thought we were going home.
Oh, yeah, what's a birthday by party favors?
Yeah, but can't we do this at home?
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be special.
But it's kind of getting dark out.
And we have headlights.
Nathan, we're riding in the dark?
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
You know what? Nope.
gonna be
no.
Okay.
I need
Yep.
just a second.
Okay.
I need a second.
Jesus.
What's going on with her?
I think we need to have some words.
You had your chance, honey. This is Kim. It's less that I can't get to the phone right now, and
I think you hit your head or something, because I was not moving in on Margaret.
Yeah, I saw you at the gas station, you little prick. You were. Yes, you were. And yeah, I did hit my head.
Oh, and by the way, are you sure you should even be drinking with that concussion?
You have a concussion? Okay. I want Seth to take me home because it's getting dark and I was uncomfortable driving in the daytime and I do not want to drive at night.
You were doing fine.
Let's go.
Oh, that is not happening.
You are drunk. You have a concussion. It's getting dark out. Seth is driving me home.
So, it's getting dark. I've been drinking. I have a concussion. You don't want me driving.
I don't want you driving me. Seth is gonna take me home. Figure it out, Nate.
You heard her. I'll catch up. Come on.
Yeah, Seth was drinking too. Bitch.
We went the wrong way, I think.
What do you mean we went the wrong way?
Marge, it's okay.
This is far from okay, Seth. You said you knew where you were going.
During the day, I do. Listen, I know where we are. We just went in the wrong direction. All we gotta do is double back and link up with Fields.
Like he's gonna make any of this better.
Oh, my head is splitting. Oh.
Look, I'm sorry your birthday turned out like this. I don't know what that asshole was thinking. You and him never really made sense to me anyhow, you know? I mean, you're going places. He peaked in high school. If you ask me, you're doing him a favor by being with him.
Yeah, I don't need this right now, Seth.
No, of course you don't.
Hell? What is wrong with you?
Oh, come on, Margaret, don't be like that. Come here.
No.
Please?
Get off of me!
Margaret, I love you!
No!
Please! Please, Margaret, I...
Fuck you, bitch!
Marge! Marge! You can't go alone! You'll get lost!
here! Come on, don't do this to me! Oh, please don't tell Fields! Don't go, please! You can't leave me here! Stop her! I'm hurt! Oh, God, I need your help! I'm hurt! No! You can't leave me here! Oh, damn it! Fucking... Oh, shit! My phone! Damn it! Son of a bitch!
Oh, Jesus.
Damn it!
I'm calling an ambulance right now.
Okay, yeah. We have to go. There are cops looking for us.
Oh, shit! Watch this bone!
Cops? Why would there be cops looking
What
for us?
happened?
They broke my fucking leg, dude! Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
Why are there cops looking for us?
Oh, you didn't know that we were trespassing?
That.
Okay, that doesn't matter anymore. We cannot walk him back here. The truck's like a mile out.
Truck's coming to us.
Oh, damn. You kids all right?
No. Who are you?
I own the junkyard a ways back. I was just on my way out here to shoot you.
Look, I'm sorry we were trespassing on your land, but our friend, he broke his leg. Do you think you can give us a ride back?
Yeah, there's a reason you're not supposed to be trespassing. Because somebody's always getting hurt.
Oh, look, lady, are you gonna help us or not?
All right, let's get him in the back of the truck. I live round the bend. We'll call the ambulance from there.
Can't you just take us to the hospital?
No. No, I'm not so good on these roads at night. I used to be a nurse. I can treat him at the house.
No,
I think we'll take the ride.
Yeah. Very good.
Sounds good.
Dude, I can't do this. God, it hurts so bad.
You're good.
Oh.
Right, you're good.
Okay.
Dude, you're bleeding everywhere.
Come on, boys.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Oh, I got you. Ready? Yeah, I know. I know.
Come on, right back here. Watch your step. Come on, let's get him inside.
Are you sure you have what you need to treat a broken leg here?
I got plenty of medical supplies in my cabinet. I promise, your friend's gonna be comfortable.
You just stand there and help.
Okay, I don't like this. Seriously?
Do you not want to wait inside?
No.
Suit yourself, dearie. Hey, if you see my son out there playing, let him know supper will be ready soon, would you?
Okay.
Come on, let's get him over here. Whoa. Pick him up just a second. I don't want to get these sheets all messed up.
You, do this often?
Yeah, kinda. All right, come on over here. Right here. There you go.
Anything else I can do to help?
We're over in the Pine Barrens. Somewhere out by Morton State Park. We
you just pin my location or something? We need help out here.
Hey, you doing okay?
No, I can try to look for an address, but I just don't. I don't know. It's some weird, creepy shack.
Marge.
Here you go, baby. Take these. You comfortable?
No.
You won't feel it much longer.
That's what I like to hear. Got a cigarette, Doc?
I do not.
This night keeps getting worse and worse.
Look. Seth needs us. We should be in there.
I don't care about Seth right now. I just want to go home. Yeah, I'm.
Margaret!
What the fuck is that?
Oh. Maybe I should have mentioned that I had some alcohol before this.
I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Hey, take that.
You take all kinds of things that aren't yours, don't you? This is my son's.
You got a kid?
Yeah. His name is Chester.
Where is he?
He'll be home soon. It's almost time for dinner.
Oh, good. I'm starving.
Gotta prepare the cuts first. Chester doesn't like bones in his meat.
Nathan.
We can't stay here. Shut the fuck up. Stop. Listen to me. We're gonna go upstairs. We're gonna get Seth. We're gonna get the keys. We're gonna get out of here, okay? You have to be quiet.
It's too quiet.
Your fault.
My fault?
You wouldn't have came up here if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, but
What? You're gonna kill me like you killed him?
he tried to
Do what? You're gonna kill me like you killed Seth?
back off.
Do it.
I don't want to.
Do it. Fucking do it! Please.
Yes!
Shoot! Fucking shoot her! Shoot!
Got the keys.
I love when the company takes out their own trash.
Back off. Just let me leave. I just want to go home.
You don't get it. If I don't feed him, who will? If I'm not staying here keeping his belly filled, you ought to be grateful. I'm giving you a purpose. Some people would kill for that.
It's not easy being a mother. It's for you!
All right, so that was Dirty Jersey. So that was pretty sick. I really enjoyed that, and I'm not just saying that because you guys are here in the chat. I was hoping that I wasn't going to have to roast this film as well as some of my normal people in the chat. Like, that was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed that. I thought you guys did really well all around, right? From a acting standpoint, I was really surprised to see that the acting was as good as it was. I don't know, obviously, any of you guys in person, but I don't know how much acting that you've done in the past. But you can tell that you guys, it seems like you've done some. And if not, then you guys should continue on because you all did really well. And that's the biggest thing with indie horror, is not just the acting, but it's normally shot poorly, and or the sound design is really bad. And here, for me personally, all around, I thought the sound design was awesome. Seems like everything was EQ'd correctly, right? Nothing seemed overly loud. The music went with the dialogue. The sound effects didn't seem crazy and out of place. And on top of that, cinematography, bravo, it looked good, and excellent job on the acting, guys. Like, I'm really happy that this turned out to be a good viewing experience, and now I can see why, why I keep seeing this getting posted all over X, because if I had shot this, I would be proud of this. If I was part of this, I would be proud of this as well. So, really proud of you guys. You did an excellent job. So I do want to go through and maybe watch some of the BTS footage on the YouTube channel here on stream. So definitely appreciate all of you guys coming out. Feel free to continue to hang out if you want. If you got to leave after the film, is all good. Normally I have more people rolling in throughout the night, so I hate that I didn't have more in here to watch that film, but normally people come back and they rewatch these streams as well, so it'll definitely reach more and more people here on the Cinema Creep channel. So I want to go through the YouTube page that you guys have and check out some of the... Looks like you have a behind the scenes, a 2-minute video. Should I watch the behind the screams video, or should I watch the meet the cast, or both? I mean, they're only, I guess, 8 minutes together. All right, so here we are, Dirty Jersey YouTube channel. I'm not subscribed, but I am now. And you guys should subscribe to this also, because I'm excited to see what you guys are going to put out. Are you planning on putting out a new film? Are you planning on putting out more behind the scenes, or what do you got planned for this YouTube channel? Sick. We'll watch both of them then. Let's go with the behind the screams first. I love watching behind the scenes content.
My voice comes straight out. Still feel like rocking it.
Sick. That was put together really well. All right, let's check out the Meet the Cast video.
My name is Casey Donnelly, and I play Nathan Fields. This is it. This is the culmination of my career. My experience on set, I was covered in blood in the snow. How much are you gonna pay for this? Nothing? Yeah. And it's cold, and it stains, and I'm tired all the time, and we're in the middle of nowhere because apparently Dave and Tyler thought it was a good idea to rent a trolley yard. I don't even know where it is. It took 4 hours to get there and 4 hours back in the same day.
Hi, my name is Amanda Frost, and I play Marge in Dirty Jersey. My experience with acting has been with David. That's it, and it's been the best. I auditioned for Dirty Jersey when it was named something else and was something else, and we filmed it, and we didn't finish it, but I loved every second of it.
Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys. I pretty much retired from acting until Dave called me again, and then now I did Dirty Jersey. My on-set experience was amazing, except for working with Casey. Casey Donnelly is a nightmare.
Me, it's a close up on her face, so he doesn't like how it looks. I gotta recast.
Fuck you.
You, Casey.
You are relentless.
I know.
It's crazy.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. Casey's face looks so dumb.
Okay. What the fuck?
But I also really enjoyed that set for multiple reasons. I got to be outside and freezing in 17-degree weather in just a tank top, which was stellar. But there was also a set kitty, which I loved, and cows, and everybody was awesome. I loved that day. There's a lot of times where a set can become a family, and I think that it did. I know with some of my scenes with Kathleen, it was like we would get to sit on the side of the cabin and just talk about our lives for like 40 minutes while they blocked everything. And yeah, I think that's what it is. I think a found family kind of thing.
You actually hit her? No.
That looked really good. Yeah, I guess that's good. Dead baby's got to go. That's going to distract me. All right, I'm ready. Hi, I'm Kathleen Simard. I played Mother Leeds in Dirty Jersey. The role of Mother Leeds just spoke to me. Like sometimes you'll read something and you'll immediately know like, oh, I know how I'd play that. And I totally got a Kathy Bates vibe from Misery. It was funny when I first got on set. It seemed like some people knew each other. I didn't know anybody, but I'm a very social person. Like I spent my career in sales, so I'm like bebopping around the room, like learning everybody's name and trying to get to know everybody. And it was really cool because over the process after like the first day, everybody started to gel and really work well and appreciate what everybody was doing to make this happen. It was a fabulous experience. Like you hear these stories about people just being such a pain in the ass to work with, but that was not at all the case. I mean, honestly, it was a lot of fun. Okay, that actually kind of hurt.
So my favorite moment on set is without a doubt one of the first gory scenes that we shot where I'm straddling Sean behind a white curtain and I am pulling teeth out of his mouth with pliers because
Chester doesn't like bones in his meat.
So everybody's around on set, you know, they yell action and I'm struggling with the pliers and I pull the tooth out and the amount of blood that comes spewing out of his mouth was like I could literally nicked an artery. And then David yells, cut, and the whole crew on set goes,
Oh, yes! That was legitimately tough to watch. Yeah.
You know, coming from somebody who's only ever really watched movies, I'm brand new at like being on a set and being part of a crew. I never really appreciated what it takes to take the written word from a page and actually tell the story with the sound and the lights and the camera and the other actors. And it is like the folks behind the scenes that you don't see are, I never appreciated how critical they are to the quality of the end result. So I gained an incredible appreciation that the actors are really, I mean, they're what you see, but there's so much more that goes into it.
You guys ready? Are you alive? We got it.
I'm giving you a purpose. Some people will kill for that. You're talking to me.
So, love behind the scenes stuff, and it's cool to just see, you know, some of those little tricks you guys did, like the thing with the glass window on the truck. That was really cool, that the way you did that. Like, I was wondering, I think it might have been Confidence in Chat asked if that was real glass or not early on during the movie, and it was really cool to see how you guys pulled that off, you know. Behind the scenes, like I said, are amazing. So, really stoked on the movie, and shout out to you guys for having a good team. Looks like you had a good crew. This was this Indiegogo funded or Kickstarter funded? Drove an hour with the glass in his trunk. Yeah, I could see that sucking at that broken transit. Yeah, you guys definitely look like you had a lot of fun on set, and you could tell. And that's the best, is when you're on a set with a crew of that, like that, and you guys are just having a good time. That's why horror reigns supreme. It's like, you know, you can just have a good laugh while you're doing all of that super gnarly stuff, those kill scenes, and, you know, the pulling of teeth out of somebody's mouth. Yeah, I kind of got that it was funded by selling copious amounts of narcotics. Yeah, that's the vibe it got. You know, probably written while under the influence as well. Just definitely had that vibe. No. So awesome, you know, that had dad part of the crew, right? Was that you that I saw in some of those behind the scenes shot? John Hart, I assume your dad. Gnarly, you know, awesome to see, like, you taking part in the film, you know. So you said the next thing up for you is a feature, right? So Octopus Head, I'm really interested to hear more of what Octopus Head's about. I assume that there's nothing out there yet for it, right? You said it's in pre-production. So really, really stoked on Octopus Head. Are you gonna run a Kickstarter for that as well, or an Indiegogo? Or have you thought that far into it yet? Yeah, I'm definitely stoked on it. If you have a Kickstarter and all of that, I mean, you can definitely send that info over, because we're definitely going to follow up what you're doing here. And as you post more, you know, I'll update it on the channel and stuff. And I may even do just a full film review of your of Dirty Jersey on the YouTube channel, right? Because I don't just do live streams. I do, obviously, trailer reviews and reactions and film reviews and all that. So I may break down Dirty Jersey as well in a full video. So potentially be on the lookout for that. And then I may reference some of your other stuff in terms of any Kickstarter campaigns you have for your new stuff. Because we did watch, and if you guys know these other dudes personally, I'm sorry. We watched Milk and Cereal, because a lot of people told me to watch Milk and Cereal. Do you guys know the film I'm talking about? The indie film from these guys here. We watched this on stream a couple weeks back. And this is supposedly like the viral indie horror right now that's like, you know, everybody's going crazy for. And I was like, yeah, I got to watch this on stream. I got to watch this. And this was absolutely terrible. Everybody in stream hated it. Like, I cannot believe how viral this has gone. And like I said, this is doing like really, really well on YouTube. It's posted everywhere. And you guys are leagues above this, you know. And I think it's just really comes down to these guys, Curry Baker and his YouTube channel having like a big following, right? And that's what I was going to tell you is honestly, like, feel really proud, and I know you guys do, but I would feel really proud of Dirty Jersey. And if it was bad, you know, like, we wouldn't be jerks straight out here, but we wouldn't be as stoked about it. You know what I mean? And me and the rest of the Cinema Creep community, we're pretty outspoken individuals about what we like. And, you know, this was pure shit. Milk and cereal. And you guys really put together something gnarly. And I hope that we get to see more acting from Casey and the dude that played Seth. I don't think I got his name. And Amanda. I know she said she was retired from acting till you called her back. But, like, leading lady in horror, like, you should continue on. You did an exceptional job, all of you guys. So, now that we watched Dirty Jersey, we're going to go and we're going to watch something a little bit older, right? And before I move on, massive shout out to John, right? The dad, because as a parent, right, helping your kid any way possible with stuff like this, right, with whatever their passion is, you know, is just not just super gnarly on your part, but it's just really, really commendable, especially letting them use your basement and whatever else of theirs that you used other than your time. You know what I mean? Just showing your support is hands down the coolest thing ever. So shout out to you. Yeah, for sure, man. You guys did an awesome job, Casey. So what we're going to do here on the rest of the Friday Night Creep Show, you guys feel free to stay, or if you got to roll out, no hard feelings there. I think we're going to watch Carnival of Souls from 1960. What year is this from? 1962. So we're just going to watch an older film and kick back and make fun of some old horror. And that's going to be the rest of this stream. So, yeah, you guys are definitely a good team over there at Peachy Keen Productions. And I'm really, really stoked, like I said, to see what you guys do in the future. All right, Casey, man, appreciate you coming in to the chat and sharing your experience with us. Have fun at the wedding. That's weddings. I forgot all about those. I used to shoot lots of weddings. John, appreciate you for coming in and hanging out. Frank and the rest of you guys, if you're still hanging out, I'm going to throw on Carnival of Souls. This is the colorized version. The synopsis is: after a deadly car accident, a young church organist finds herself stalked by mysterious phantoms that beckon her to an abandoned carnival. So, streaming this off Tubi, there's going to be ads. Hopefully YouTube doesn't shut me down. This should be in the public domain. And here we go. Carnival of Souls.
You want to drive, huh? Come on. See that telephone pole? We'll take you to it, yeah. Yeah, we can take you. I think we got a pretty nice day. Well, I can take you, yeah. Yeah, come on. You want to try? Rev it up. Come on, man. Get ready.
river is right now, and with all the mud and sand it's carrying, they may never find that car.
Right there.
All right, now let's hear your story about how it happened.
It wasn't our fault, sir.
Yeah?
We were the first ones on the bridge, and coming along, following the tracks, and they wanted to get around us, I guess, and they lost control when they dropped off.
You sure you didn't crowd them off?
Yeah, not sure I want to find that car now. With this sand and with that current, we may never find it.
Yeah, all I guess we can do is keep trying. Come on, let's get down there. It's Mary Henry. Are you all right?
How'd you get out?
Here, put this on. We better get you back to town.
What about the other girl?
I don't remember.
like the one I'll be playing in Utah?
It's quite similar. I supervised the installation myself. The accident won't delay your going, will it?
No.
I'm leaving this morning. There's nothing I can do here.
That's right. Well, Mary, you'll make a fine organist for that church. Be very satisfying to you, I think.
It's just a job to me.
Well, it's not quite the attitude for going into church work.
I'm not taking the vows. I'm only going to play the organ.
Want more than that? Of course, it doesn't pay much, but, well, at least it's a start. Are you driving by Benton to see your folks?
No, I can't. I must hurry. I've got to leave. I'm going to drive straight through.
Mary, it takes more than intellect to be a musician. Put your soul into it a little. Okay? Good luck, Mary. Stop by and see us the next time you're in.
Thank you. But I'm never coming back.
I don't know about that girl.
How do you mean?
Day before yesterday, she was the only one of 3 girls to survive an accident. You'd think she'd feel a little something like humbleness or gratitude.
Never know what she thinks. She's always kept pretty much to herself.
Yeah, maybe in her place I'd do the same thing. Just pick up life again.
Well, she's so quiet-like, she fools you. But she's a tough-minded little thing.
I guess that's what it takes to survive. But I still say she's behaving strangely.
Well, if she's got a problem, it'll go right along with her.
Yep.
Skip past this ad. We'll minimize it, or yeah, so is there actually gore in the movie? Definitely a fan of violence and gore over here at Cinema Creep. I just, being such a fan of the original, I don't know if I can, how much I'm going to enjoy the remake. What were your thoughts on Longlegs? Because that was extremely hyped up. Because I have a whole lot to say about that freaking movie. Nissan Frontier. Come on, how many ads do we need? This is probably actually on YouTube, where I could have clicked through these a lot quicker. Probably even on, well, I guess this is about the next best place I could watch this movie at. Yeah, I was extremely let down by Longlegs. I was so stoked on it the entire year, and I thought their PR team was genius, and all the marketing they did for it was genius. And you know, I've talked about it, you know, ad nauseum at this point, but man, like, I was so let down by it. I was hoping that we would have got more Nick Cage in it, but less Nick Cage at the same time. My biggest complaint was he looked absolutely ridiculous. Micah Monroe, like, I thought she did terrible in the movie, even though she's a good actress. I thought Osgood Perkins tried to tell 3 or 4 different stories, and didn't really give us enough meat on any of the 3 or 4 stories he tried to tell. But I love Nick Cage. Yeah, it did kind of feel like a Silence of the Lambs, you know, sort of like retread, you could say, and except nowhere near as good. But it was more crime thriller than it was horror movie, and I think that's really where a lot of the marketing went wrong. Yeah, I thought that was a cool plot point too. Like, they said that once the movie came out, but they never implied that in the movie that, hey, you know, if they would have, like, included that little detail, like in the film, you know, like uncovered it in like a file or something, you know, when they were profiling him, about like his past issues getting plastic surgery, or even mentioned it in his like interrogation scene. I think that that was something cool that they said once they started getting all the backlash to how bad the makeup was, in just like a way to save face. Yeah, because that would have been amazing if they would have included that in there. That would have just saved their ass so hard on the makeup. I mean, it was shot nice. Like, it had that thick atmosphere, you know, and like, here on, you know, the channel, when we watch horror movies, when we play horror games, like, big thing for us is we're always talking about the atmosphere that a movie provides, right? Like, lightning, check. You know, thunder in the background, check. Fog, check. A castle, double check. You know what I mean? Like, a graveyard. Like, love the atmosphere. And they, you know, they set that pretty well in that movie. Yeah, the Monkey Shines thing that he's got coming out, I'm gonna watch it. Like, I go pretty hard on Osgood Perkins in my review for it on the channel, but I think that Osgood Perkins is a product of nepotism, and I think that he is really having doors open for him, and I think he's putting the cart before the horse because of his name, you know, and I think if he would slow down and take time, he could probably make something really thought-provoking. What's up, Silverback? Glad that you made it. So we are one movie down. We watched a film called Dirty Jersey. You could see the guy that is 2 comments up from you, and watched his film Dirty Jersey. So at some point, you know, Craig, what's up? So glad that you made it also. So we already watched Dirty Jersey. You can see the guy commenting a couple comments up above yours. Highly recommend going and clicking through that YouTube channel at some point and watching their film. It's about 40 minutes long. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's pretty gnarly for an indie horror. Really, really stoked on it. We had a good time watching that. He brought some of the cast and crew with him. They were here in chat earlier. And a bunch of good people. Seems like a bunch of good people working on that film, starring in that film. So definitely worth the support over there.
Anything else, lady?
Could you tell me what that big structure is back a few miles by the lake?
Silverbat, what time is it your way right now? Is it
In the old days, then the lake went down and they made a dance
like
hall out of
8 a.m., 9 a.m.? I can't remember how far ahead you are. 13 hours maybe.
That's years ago.
1 p.m.
Just stands out there now.
I see.
Yeah, that milk and cereal. Phew.
Here of a rooming house. Could you direct me?
Oh, sure. Well, that's just right over here a little ways.
Been saving it for you since I got your letter. Could have rented it yesterday if I'd wanted. Oh, it's fine. It's just about what I expected.
3 p.m. Wow.
There ain't no regular rooming house, you know. I only got you, Mr. Linden, across the hall.
So right now we're watching Carnival of Souls, the colorized version. It just started from 1962.
You can take all the baths you want. I'm not one to fuss about things like that. Thank you. I think I'll be quite comfortable. Well, hope you'll stay a while. I'm downstairs in the back part of the house, so if there's anything else you need, guess I'll have to wait till morning. All right. Good night, Mrs. Talman.
And this, Miss Henry, is our pride and joy.
You know this was made in the same town where I've been studying.
Of course, that's where we heard about you. Oh, by the way, you have found a place to stay.
Yes, I have a room.
Good. Well, we hope you're going to like it here. We're not the largest church in this area, of course, but we have a nice congregation. We'll have to have some sort of reception. They'll want to meet you.
Couldn't we just skip that?
Skip that? Now, I don't suppose it's an absolute necessity. I don't know what some of the ladies will say.
If they say I'm a fine organist, that should be enough, shouldn't it?
Well, yes, of course. We'll let it go at that for the time being. But, my dear, you cannot live in isolation from the human race, you know.
Mind if I try this now?
I want you to.
So a lot of the good parts of watching old horror movies like this is they're just good character studies, you know?
I'll be next door tonight. If you need me. We have an organist capable of stirring the soul.
So a lot of people, they credit the original Crow movie. Like when you talk to them, some people are really, really emotionally invested in the story, and that's awesome. If you are, because I think that movies have the ability to change somebody's life, to move people in certain ways, right? You know, a lot of people that I talk to about the original say, hey, that's the reason I got sober. That's how I dealt with the death of my spouse, and stuff like that, you know. And that's really cool if that's the original Crow has that much of a meaning to you. But for me, like, it's just something I watched as a kid, something that was there early on in the preteen goth days, you know, that was like, hey, you know, I'm not alone in my weirdness. Right? That's a serious freaking organ that they got in this.
What do you see?
Nothing. Nothing at all. I practiced all afternoon and got me in the mood.
You need some fresh air. I've got to make a call out past the lake. Would you like to come along for the ride?
You know that old pavilion out there?
Mm-hmm.
Will we pass it?
Go right by it. Stop and look at it if you like.
I would, with you along.
Good.
Yeah, I think that every goth kid liked The Crow, but not all crows like goth kids. I can't believe I haven't seen Nick or Hintoy yet. Or Jaime hasn't showed up from work. Popped in.
This used to be quite a place. It's been deserted for a long time now.
Will you take me in?
My goodness, no. It isn't safe out there anymore. That's why they put up this barrier.
It'd be very easy to step around it.
What attraction could there be for you out there?
I'm not sure. I'm a reasonable person. I don't know. Maybe I want to satisfy myself that the place is nothing more than it appears to be. Would you take me out there?
No. The law has placed it off limits. Wouldn't be very seemly for a minister to break the law, would it?
No. Maybe I can come back some other time.
The second Crow movie was kind of decent too, City of Angels. I used to always go around yelling, fire it up, and people had no clue. I think they just thought I had like a problem. Craig, you should be the Crow this year for Halloween. That'd be sick. The old version, the Eric Draven, obviously. Yeah, City of Angels, the second one's pretty decent. I haven't seen any of them past that.
That must have been a kick in the head. I learned that from my other boarder, Mr. Linden. You get your supper? Oh, I forgot. Well, this ain't no boarding house, but I got some coffee and sandwich makings left. I could bring you some up after a while. Good. I'll be taking one of those baths you're so generous with. Well, take as many as you want. I ain't going to make a fuss about a thing like that.
Alright, let me minimize the audio here while we are going on this commercial break. So, yeah, definitely, I still got to get a Halloween costume. I don't know what I'm going to be this year. If you haven't heard me talk about it, me and my wife, we dress up every single year. You know, I have a 14-year-old. He dresses up. We do the house up big. You know, we're those people, quote unquote, right? So dress up every single year. And this year, you know, we've just been a little bit slow getting on it. So I got to figure out what it is we're going to do. I'm behind and I hate it. And normally it's like the second or third week of September we kick it in overgear. But COVID has hit your boy's house this past week and it's been rough. The trailer for the new Crow kind of looked like it was a Batman movie. Like it was trying to be like a Batman movie.
me asking you. I'm John Linden. I'm your neighbor right across the hall.
Nice to meet you. Would you excuse me?
Hey, I was wondering
I
if you're
just
not doing...
stand right there.
The guy's looking through the crack. They're playing that
Introduce myself. I'm Mary Henry.
sleazy music from the 60s.
I heard you tell Mrs. Thomas you haven't ate anything yet, huh? Well, yeah, I just thought, being neighborly and all this, I haven't eaten anything either. I just thought we had to ask you out for dinner.
Oh, that's very thoughtful of you, but I can't accept.
I know. We haven't met or anything yet, but I just thought we'd
I'm
do the
sorry.
same.
You have to excuse me.
Look, there's a nice restaurant, right down the street, and I just thought, well, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to eat by himself.
I've made arrangements to eat in my room tonight.
Hey, if change your mind, just holler. I was kind of lonesome in here.
Good night, Mr. Linden. Miss Henry? It's Miss Thomas. Who's the man in the hall? Oh, you must mean Mr. Linden. He has the room across the hall. No, I mean the other one. There is no other. Me and you and Mr. Linden. Us three is all there is in this house. But you must have passed him out there. You're needing this food. All about eating makes you jumpy sometimes. Maybe you heard the boards pop or something. These old houses creak worse than my knees. I didn't hear him, Mrs. Thomas.
So once we hit 500 subs on the channel, the plan is to
Now, don't talk that way.
create a Discord and
It's so good as it is.
hopefully
It's these old houses. They're big enough so that you could hide a man in every corner.
hopefully we can watch some newer movies in there as well, because it's gonna be less patrolled by YouTube over there. It'll be stuff that I can rip straight from DVD, and we'll do some like Friday night creep shows maybe once a month just in Discord, where we'll watch something new together, and I won't have to worry about YouTube shutting me down. So, and honestly, there's no reason I'm waiting until I hit 500 subs. It's just like a milestone for me. But we're getting close. 483.
There's nobody there. Now you just go and eat that sandwich I made for you. Don't drink the coffee. If coffee keeps you awake, it won't. Coffee never keeps me awake.
We'll have over there in the Discord, we'll probably have a lot more different things to do on Cinema Creep, right? Like there'll be obviously different channels, but it'll be its own little Cinema Creep social media contained over there. So I got a question for everybody in the chat. So based off of purely on style and aesthetics alone, what is your favorite decade, right? So when I say style and aesthetics, I'm talking about like not just clothing. I'm talking about like the way people wore their hair. I'm talking about the music, the films. I'm talking about like the architecture. What's your favorite decade?
Hey, I guess you took her on last night about me coming to your door and all, huh?
I'm not a very sociable person ordinarily. How can I resist an inducement like this?
What? Come on, I don't know all those big words. I'm just an ordinary guy who works in a warehouse, that's all.
Yeah, the Edward Furlong Crow movie is absolutely terrible.
Shots left over from last night. You want a little bit in yours?
No, thanks. It's not the recommended breakfast for a church organist.
Oh, is that what you do?
Like I've seen clips of that, but I've never watched it.
Somebody to play the organ in church?
Some churches do.
Hey, I hope you don't mind about this. I just didn't know you're a church woman.
To me, a church is just a place of business.
That's a funny way to look at it.
That's the right way to look at it.
People seem shocked because I took a job in a church, and I regard it simply as a job. I'm a professional organist, and I play for pay, that's all.
Thinking like that, don't that give you a nightmare?
Strange you should say that. As a matter of fact, not for that reason, mind you, but I had the strangest feeling last night.
Yeah. I had kind of a lost night myself.
Funny. The world is so different in the daylight. But in the dark, your fantasies get so out of hand.
Silverbat says 80s was the best.
In daylight, everything falls back into place again.
I can imagine being a teenager in the 80s was insane.
The more interesting. Hey, how'd you get to be a church organist?
I studied it in college.
I could have gone to college. Yeah, I used to play pretty good football, but they wanted me to take a lot of classes and things, you know?
Well, they're that way.
No, I'm just as smart as the next guy. Yeah, but I just didn't dig what they were teaching in school, you know? And the thing I hated most was principal product.
Frank says the top hat, the top hat decade.
Like the principal product to Brazil.
So was that the
coffee, beans, snake oil, you know, like that.
that would have been what?
Couldn't care less.
The early 1900s, right? Probably the late 1800s. I think people wore top hats for a long time.
If I'd done that, I would have graduated.
What's the matter? Can you still taste the coffee?
Jack the Ripper.
What do you think? I'm an alcoholic? Look, I just like to start the day off in a good mood, that's all.
You must be hilarious by noon.
Look, I'm just the kind of a guy employers want. You know, the happy worker. Oh, come on, did I make your morning happy?
This morning, you're exactly what I needed.
You're gonna need me in the evening.
Top hat and a cane and the tuxedo jacket with the tails.
No. Just spoils the flavor for tomorrow.
Well, thank you for the coffee. It was unsanitary, but delicious.
Well, should have put some of the germ killer inside. Well, I hate to leave so early.
I think you can get through the door.
You know, you got the wrong impression of me.
Well, I meant because you had so many things to carry.
Oh. Like I said, I got to leave.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Mr. Linden. but I'm sure you have to get to work.
Oh, don't you?
No, I have the whole day free for shopping.
So when it comes to decades for me, it's hard for me to say, right? From what I've experienced, decades I've experienced, I'm going to say the 90s. Obviously, what the hell just happened? I was a kid in the 90s. 90s was awesome because if you were born if you were born before the year 2000, right? You were a kid growing up either in the 80s or the 90s. You got to live at just the right time because you were there right before internet hit, right before smartphones hit, right before tech got all crazy, before social media, right? You were there when going to the movies was a big deal, when going to the video store was a big deal. When kids got to be kids, so experience-wise, the 90s.
There, do you want to go back to your dressing room?
But aesthetically speaking, right, I'm going to have to go with either, like, the 1920s, right, or I'm going to have to go with the 50s, like what Chuck said. Now, I would say 1920s because, people were hardened in the 20s. Obviously, you had issues going on back then, but you had the men who kept the clean cuts, right? Like, people just looked really dapper in the 20s, you know what I mean? And like if you look at stuff like I think like Peaky Blinders and stuff takes place in the 20s, right? Like that whole look, right? You looked proper, but you looked tough, you know what I mean? And especially from like a men's style, right? Now, the 50s all around was sick. 50s has some of the best cars, some of the coolest looking design, right? Not just from houses, but from like furniture and design aesthetics.
I believe I'll have you deliver the dress if you don't mind. I did say I'd take it.
The way that people kept themselves, presentable back in the 50s was really, really cool. Women's hairstyles were insane in the 50s.
What's the matter with everyone?
Oh, 100%. I'd be a greaser. I used to slick my hair back and all that, Frank. I used to really, really, get pomade and do my hair up, but it's just too much work anymore. I'm a hat guy. As a kid, I wanted to be like Johnny Depp from Crybaby, or like one of the dudes from Grease. Not necessarily John Travolta, but more like Kaneki, or like one of his friends. Or even Craterface, the dude that had that awesome car with the flames on it. Like, those dudes were always just so gnarly to me. I didn't want the acne scars, but I thought I thought that dude was awesome. Oh, yeah, Frank, he's got the top hat. He has a very Lon Chaney Sr. kind of look in Nosferatu. I wonder if that's where Robert Eggers was taking inspiration from.
What is it?
That man.
I didn't mean any harm. I just stopped to get a drink.
No. Oh, it was that man. That man. There was someone else there. That strange man was there.
Now look, you've had a fright. Hysteria won't solve anything. Now control yourself. Look, I'm Dr. Samuels. My office is right across the street there. You've had a shock. If you would like my assistance, I'll be glad to offer it.
Thank you. Could I come with you now?
Certainly. I'll take her over to my office. We'll see that she's all right.
It was more than just not being able to hear anything. Or make contact with anyone. It was as though for a time I didn't exist. As though I had no place in the world. No part of the life around me.
And then you saw this man.
Yes.
You'll excuse my back, but I wanted to get some of that written down.
I must have been talking for an hour.
Anything else? Anything you haven't told me?
That's all there is. That's the whole story. He's been following me. That's all there is to it.
It isn't that simple, though, is it?
What do you mean?
You could hardly have been in the park this afternoon.
I think also if medieval times was anything like Game of Thrones, that would have been pretty sick to experience too.
What are you driving at?
It's been less than a week since you were in a car that crashed into the river. How you got out of that, no one seems to know. But that experience must have been a serious emotional shock.
You think I imagined all of it, don't you? You think I'm insane?
I didn't say that. I don't mean that.
I'm a competent person. If anything, I'm a realist. I'm not given to imagining anything.
Hogwash.
Oh, 65 Dodge Phoenix. Heck yeah, Silverback.
Back and imagine they were talking about you. Have you never imagined you saw someone you knew and walked up to them and found they were a perfect stranger?
I don't see what this has to do with it.
The point is this. Our imaginations play tricks on us. They often misinterpret what we see and hear. Do you agree?
I suppose so.
If that can happen in ordinary
Yeah, that's an amazing looking car. I love those kind that look like that. Like that style.
Doesn't seem possible that I could have imagined all of it.
I'm looking at a picture right now of it.
Does this man, this figure, resemble anyone you've ever known? An acquaintance? Or your father?
No.
You have a boyfriend here or back home?
No, and I have no desire for one.
Never?
No. I'm surprised to find myself saying that. But it's true. I have no desire for the close company of other people.
Have you always felt this way?
I don't know.
Don't you want to join in the things that other people do? Share the experiences of other people?
I don't think capable of being very close to people. I do feel that perhaps I am trying to reach out for those other things.
Do you feel guilty wanting them?
I don't understand you.
I wonder if those were only Australian cars.
I'm being clumsy at all this. But I am suggesting that perhaps this figure represents a guilt feeling.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Maybe. Frankly, I don't know.
Well, I know one thing. My imagination is playing tricks on me. I'm going to put a stop to it.
You're a very strong-willed person, aren't you?
Black and red interior. I bet that thing was amazing.
That old pavilion out by the lake.
So I like old Cadillacs. I had one not long ago. I got T-boned in it. Ironically enough, by another Cadillac a mile from my house. Love Cadillacs. Obviously ones from the 50s and the 60s, but I also love Cadillacs from like the 90s, like the ones that you would see in old rap videos, the real boxy ones, because I love old cars too, right? 50s and 60s. Dream car being like a 1932 Ford Model A Rat Rod, right? That's like my dream car. But something like a 1995 Cadillac DeVille. I spent time living on the West Coast as a kid with like hydraulics on it would be amazing. Like I love like lowriders with hydraulics and shit like that. I don't know what my problem is. I embarrass myself more and more on these streams. Yeah, I got T-boned by another Cadillac and it sucked because mine had to get totaled. It was a gold Cadillac DeVille. The lady that hit me ran through a stop sign. I keep looking for a moderately priced hearse. I know Frank's heard me talk about this before. I think a hearse is the ultimate family mobile, right? It's like a car SUV. It's like a station wagon. Be perfect for grocery pickup. A lot of them are pretty expensive. Because I don't want like a 2010 Cadillac hearse. I want like a 1980 model or like obviously a 50s or 60s model would be awesome, but those are like $50,000 or $60,000. So looking for like a 1990s model that's like moderately priced without like 300,000 miles on it is the goal. Turn it into the Cinema Creep Mobile. So this lady is in an abandoned carnival, it looks like, right now. It looks like she is in an old, like, hangar, old factory that they put a carnival in. What's up, Nick? Glad you made it. Glad you showed up in chat. So first half of tonight we watched a film called Dirty Jersey, and now we're watching Carnival of Souls. And this is the colorized version from 1962. So we were just talking about old cars, Nick. Have you ever had any awesome older car? Because I know you lived out in Cali, and obviously I think you said you're in Vegas now. And I know that California is car culture people big time.
I stopped for a bite to eat on the way in. Anyway, I had to practice at the church.
Look, I was about to fight.
Have you ever had a old car or a unique car?
I'm not much for dancing.
Hey, you mind if I ask you a question?
I won't know until I hear it.
What, are you afraid of men?
No, I'm not afraid of men.
Well, you seem sort of cold.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe, Silverbat, and stoked on it. I think that you know,
Maybe you'll need company tonight.
you said your mom had a 1967 Mustang when she was 17. Awesome. And Nick has always wanted a DeLorean. So if you win the lottery, if I win the lottery, I'm buying DeLoreans for everybody in the chat. So yeah, so a little bit of a goth. You know, back before being goth was a trendy thing to do, right? Lifelong goth, I assume. I've always been I guess, mistaken for goth. Because there's, like, true goths, you know, and then there's people that are into horror and this and that, listen to metal, and then back in the day when I was a kid, you would have to fight people if you were goth. You would have to fight people if you were a punk, and that's what I was. I was a punk, and I guess if I had to put a label on myself, I'm more in the horror punk category than anything else. It's not a phase at Cinema Creep, man. It's a lifestyle choice. But a lot of people call me goth, even to this day. Like, I think Brandon's probably called me goth because it's all black attire all the time, minus this one camo hat I have. But, like, I think Brandon calls me goth. Other people at my job call me goth. But I'm not, like, a true goth like some people are, you know. It's definitely a serious subculture among people that are actually goth. This lady is sloppy on these organ keys. In a Corvette Stingray, huh, Silverbat? Nice. Those were really, really cool cars. I'm just gonna sound kind of stupid, I guess. But, like, from a kid, like, seeing the Corvette Stingray Hot Wheel, you know, and then seeing those cars actually on the road is just so surreal to me, because it looks like something that would only exist in toy form, and then you see one on the road and it looks just like it. And there's a guy that owns one around the corner from me, and he just recently got it, and this man just hot rods around town in that shit. They're such cool looking cars, and I'm not even a Corvette person, but that's one I would like to have.
Profane, sacrilege. What are you playing in this church? Have you no respect?
Brandon thinks I'm his daddy, Frank.
And I feel sorry for you and your lack of soul. This organ, the music of this church, these things have meaning and significance to us. I assume they did to you. But without this awareness, I'm afraid you cannot be our organist. In conscience, I must ask.
I think YouTube might shut me down in a minute, and if they do, I'll have to wait. It's telling me they've detected video of my stream belonging to someone else. So if they shut the stream down, I'll be back. I don't know why they've waited 55 minutes into a 70-minute movie, but it's YouTube for you.
Nor should you turn your back on the church. There is help here, and I urge you to accept it.
Sometimes it's something as simple as the music in these movies, right? The music is copyright and owned by somebody, even though the movie is in the public domain. And then I get hit for the music.
Well, hi there. I've been waiting an awful long time for you.
Werewolf Woman from 19... That sounds fun. I love those grindhouse kind of movies, Nick, where there was stuff like, you know, Werewolf Woman. Just crazy movies with crazy titles. I love stuff like that.
What's the matter? Don't you drink either?
Not really.
Not really. How else is there if you don't drink really? Answer me that. Now me, I not only drink really, I really drink. What's the matter? Do you like the music either?
I like it fine.
You don't like it. You don't like to dance, and you don't like to drink. You don't like for a man to hold you close. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, I wish YouTube would just leave me alone on these Friday night creep shows. It really is a pain.
Why don't I go play that song again? You like it so much.
I need to figure out how to get, like, license to, like, show some films and what that would cost.
Hey, Johnny, who's the doll?
Nobody you know, chicken.
Oh, come on now. You've been holding out on me. That's not the kind of pig you usually drag around.
You quit licking your chops. She's out of your class.
You want to bet?
Lay off, huh? I got something on the stove there, man.
Well, listen, I'll help you put it over.
I don't want her to think I even know creeps like you.
Good luck.
Meet someone you know?
Yeah. He's a college fella. He told me about this girl wanting to meet me. Wanted me to meet her.
What'd you tell him?
So I got this idea.
I said, how could I? You're my date, you know.
Frank, Nick,
Said you,
everybody in chat.
seem to enjoy my company much.
I know me and Frank have talked extensively about Vincent Price, and I mentioned it on one of the streams recently.
Here, join a party, drink up.
I think I'm gonna give myself a Vincent Price tattoo. I'll probably do it on stream.
I paid good money for that stuff. It ain't poison.
I'm sorry if I annoy you.
You know, I don't get you. First you stand me off. Well, that's okay. That's class.
Probably a Vincent Price portrait tattoo. Probably on my leg.
Yesterday I didn't care. Tonight I want to be with you.
Me or just...
Yeah, so that's probably gonna come in the next, I would say within the next month, probably before Halloween. I just gotta find time to sit down, figure out how I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be probably a Patreon, like a Patreon patron only stream. So it'll probably just be me and Frank. It'll be weird. But that's probably what it'll be. I probably won't post it just on the channel like this, because it doesn't really fit, I guess, on like a Friday night creep show. But it'll be something like this. It'll be a horror movie playing while I'm giving myself a Vincent Price tattoo. I'll let you guys know more details. I'll post something up on the channel about it.
Why don't you and me get out of here? You know, my room's only a couple of feet from yours. Ain't likely to get very far from me, are you?
I should post a portrait of me on Brandon.
back of the house. You won't hear nothing. Honey, you don't want to go in there all by yourself, do you? It's lonely in there. You don't have to be alone tonight.
So I tattooed for a living in my early 20s.
You don't want to be alone, do you?
No.
And portraits are fairly easy. For me, you know what I mean? Especially like the way I do them.
You ask me and you like me a little, huh?
I guess you'll have to wait and see how it comes out, how it looks. It'll be more blackwork style. It won't be like what am I trying to say? A lifelike portrait. Like it's going to look like an old black and gray photo of Vincent Price. Yeah, I've tattooed myself a good bit.
Hey, what's the matter with you? What's going on around here? What's the matter with you?
Aaron's after me. You guys.
So I've done a lot of tattoos on my legs.
Not me, sister.
I have a Grandpa Munster portrait tattoo that I did on my leg. I tattooed my right kneecap, which is a big black rose. That hurt. I have a tattoo, and I hate to admit this. I have a portrait of Charles Manson I tattooed on my leg. Have a sick-ass panther tattoo I did on my leg. I have an old-style camera I tattooed on my leg. I have a stormtrooper, black and gray, that I did on my right foot. I have straight edge X's across above my right kneecap I did. What else? A decapitated gypsy head on my left knee that I did. My legs are completely done as well as like lower stomach and chest and
Not very much, I'm afraid.
most of my body. I would say 85%.
I was going to call somebody, but I was afraid to have to pay the bill.
I came on purpose. I've been thinking about her ever since she left my office yesterday. What's she been up to?
Yeah, old Charles Manson. It's not with his stupid little swastika, though. Like, I do not support that. That's 100% something I am not on par with.
She wouldn't let me in her room this morning.
She's a strange one. She absolutely refuses my help. I can't say that I blame her. There's something about her that completely baffles me. I've urged her to call upon me if she feels she needs help, and I hope she will.
I can't let her stay in this house.
You won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, 100% not a fan of any prejudices or racism or anything like that. So, that's why I say I hate to admit that I have a Charles Manson tattoo, because I don't want people to take it the wrong way. I was big into, obviously, as it's kind of cliche now, but when I was younger, bigger into like serial killers and the history of that. And you guys know I'm a big true crime person, if you ever listen to me talk about it on stream. And so I had this idea where I was going to do like a true crime leg sleeve, and I did Charles Manson, and that was it. And I was like, well, people might think I'm a sociopath if I keep this up. So I stopped with him, and then I just kind of filled it up with other shit around him.
To leave, did you? Where you going?
But that's a little bit more lore for you.
On none of your week's rest when you go off.
I did a tattoo apprenticeship when I was 18 years old. As soon as I could get in, as soon as they would let me.
Is on the way.
As soon as I was old enough.
His favorite food. With proven nutrition for healthy energy, you
And from the time I was 18 to the time I was 24, I hung out in tattoo shops, tattooed for a living, and then I moved from Charlotte, North Carolina area out to where I currently live. And even 15 years ago, when I moved out here, there was not many tattoo shops. The one tattoo shop in town was not hiring, and I got into photography and videography. Took over my life, and I did that for from the time I was 24, really till making money with it up until COVID. And then I did that solely from like 2010 to like 2016, like as my sole job. Shooting weddings, shooting music videos, shooting commercials. And then from 2016 to really, honestly, up until last year, it's just doing photography as like a side thing.
Well, I have to check it first. Would you like to get out?
Yeah, I just sit here.
Sure. Suit yourself.
So, the face tattoo, right? Let's talk about it. I've come close a couple times. Now, obviously, I don't have my neck done, right? I just, for some reason, have not ever got it done because I don't know what I want on my neck. I feel like that's something you really have to be careful with. Plus, I got this big-ass Adam's apple. I don't know if it comes across on stream. It's big. So I'd have to find the right design to kind of like make that not look stupid, right? But I wouldn't get anything here on my face. I would get something here to where I could grow my sideburn over it. I'd have to cut my hair real short, and then I would get something here. But I wouldn't ever want anything big on my face. Yeah, but this Adam's apple's a problem, chat. It's just large and in charge. Get cinema creep across my eyelids. It's full commitment. Get Friday Night Creepshow across the top of my head right here. Across my forehead, by my hairline. Or I could get like, and then get like a little and symbol here in between my eyebrows and subscribe across the other eyelid. Hell yeah, full commitment.
When is the next eastbound bus?
Frank, do you have any tattoos?
The next bus leave. I must get on it.
Nick, do you got any tattoos? Chuck, I know you've got a couple, right? One or two? Silverbat, I remember you saying you had just recently got something, right?
I want to get out of here. I want to get away from here.
Frank, you don't have a single tattoo? You don't have any, Nick?
Eastbound bus Now loading. Gate 9.
So, the thing about tattoos is don't ever let anybody lie to you and say tattoos don't hurt. Every single tattoo you get hurts. And every time I get tattooed... What's up, Bobby? Bobby, do you got any tattoos? You're jumping in a conversation about tattoos right now. So, every time I get tattooed, I get mad because I'm like, why am I paying somebody to hurt me like this? It fucking hurts. Getting tattooed hurts. I don't care what anybody says. Now, they vary in degree of pain, but none of them feel good, right? I can only equate it to being burned. You know? It just feels like you're being burned. To me.
Wait. Let me in. You gotta let me in. I gotta run it. Wait, I gotta get away from you.
And the thing about getting tattooed is like it does weird things to your nerves because like I have my chest done, right? They could be tattooing up here, but it feels like the nerves make it feel like they're tattooing on your nipple. So it doesn't always hurt in the place that you're getting tattooed at. It can hurt like 3 inches over. Makes no sense.
They can't see me. Why can't they see me? Why?
I mean, 8's a good bit. 8 is a good bit.
Why can't I hear anything? Will you help me?
Is it on the top of your arm, like the top of your bicep, Bobby, or is it underneath, like right here?
Just a moment, please.
Or on like your forearm? Because I'll tell you guys what, a whole lot of pain that you don't want to feel is getting tattooed in here. Like on the inside of your bicep. That is the worst. I'd rather just be hit by a car. Have I ever smoked weed? So, let me tell you a story. Yeah, Nick just straight up said, hey, said, have you ever smoked weed? So, yeah, let's talk about it. So, me, myself, twice in my life as a teenager, right? And, I don't know if you guys know, but, let me preface this with saying, I don't do anything currently. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't take any kind of like pain pills, right? I don't vape. I don't do any of that. And so obviously I grew up in the punk and the hardcore music community. And if you did or you're familiar with it, then you know what straight edge is, right? And straight edge just means I've committed to living a sober lifestyle, essentially, right? I don't drink. I don't smoke. And I don't do any kind of drugs, right? I didn't claim straight edge until I turned 21. So 17 years ago to this day, right? Now, with that, right, I did drink when I was 16 and 17 years old. And I chain smoked cigarettes for 2 weeks and hated the way that it made my mouth taste, right? But I did smoke Black and Milds, and I smoked cigars for a good bit before I turned 21, like when I was like 15, 16, 17, because I thought I was cool, me and my friends. Smoked weed twice. I was drunk one time, didn't know it was weed. And when I was told it was weed, it didn't do anything for me. I didn't feel high or anything. So I did it a second time to see if I would get high, like another on another day, and I didn't get high. And this is, you know, like a 15-year-old kid giving me weed, and I was like 15 at the time, so it was probably like the worst kind you could ever get. You know what I mean? He probably, I don't know, got some low-grade weed from, I don't know, some 40-year-old dude, but never did anything for me. I never got into it. If that's your thing, cool. If you drink, cool. As long as you do it all responsibly. I'm not here to judge anybody, but me specifically, I don't do anything. I live a very sober lifestyle. No drinking, no drugs, no cigarettes. Yeah, there's definitely some cig lore going on here. My friends, I don't know if I told this story on stream or not. I may have. So some of you guys know how I was brought up as a teenager and stuff. I'm not going to get back into that right now, but didn't really have any parental supervision. So me and my friends, we just ran the roads, just went out, whatever. And we would go to this convenience store, you know, when we were like 15, 16. And this guy that worked there, he would sell us cigars, sell us Black and Milds or whatever. And we never had money, right? Poor punk kids, whatever. So my friend, his name was Lee at the time. I won't divulge his last name. He would go in there and he would barter with the dude. Like, he would either give him something that Lee had stole, so the guy would give him cigarettes or Black and Milds or cigars or whatever, or he would go in there. On 2 different occasions he did this. We had like I guess like a commercial stapler that you would see somebody staple Christmas lights on their roof with, you know, like the big silver ones. And my friend Lee said, hey, I had the friend Lee there and a friend named Brian there, and said, hey, if we staple ourselves with this stapler, will you give us cigarettes? And the guy was like, hell yeah, you know, you guys can have some cigarettes, you can have some coffee out of the machine, whatever you want, you know, just 4 staples on each of y'all, right? So my friends did it, just stapled themselves, and the guy hooked them up with cigarettes and free coffee. So the barter system is always good. It's basically what I'm getting at here. Yeah, like I said, so weed being legal in Vegas, man, you indulge for everybody. I understand why people do it. I understand why people drink. I understand why people go to the bar. You know what I mean? Like, I understand all of it. Just not for me. You know what I mean? And a lot of that comes from, I grew up with an alcoholic mom, right? And I grew up with cousins that were always strung out on some drug or another. So I always saw like the really negative side of it, right? I didn't ever see like the fun side of like social drinking, or the fun of, you know, like people kicking back and relaxing smoking weed. I saw people like my cousins going to jail for doing hard drugs, or my mom and dad beating the shit out of each other because they both were drunk. You know what I mean? So I never got to see like how responsible people do it. Excuse me. I suck in so much air when I'm talking on these streams. I don't know if you guys notice. I try not to like belch, but I always feel like I'm burping. Yeah, I got So Bobby, do you mean you drink mainly beer as like when it comes to all liquids? Like you just said, I'm not drinking water, I'm just drinking mainly beer? Or you drink mainly beer when it comes to like alcohol? So, like I said, I drank, right, when I was 16 or 17. and I would drink alcohol. I never liked the way beer tastes. I would drink liquor. And I remember because there's a picture of this floating around out there. I had a group of friends at the time, no longer really associate with them. We just kind of lost touch, right? And I remember I was drinking, and I passed out in my friend's bed, right? And he had like an en-suite bathroom, like a bathroom attached to his bedroom, right? I passed out in his bed. He passed out on the floor. And I can't remember, but I broke my hand at the time, so I had like a cast on from like my hand all the way up to my elbow, right? And so I just looked really gnarly anyways. And I got drunk, passed out, and I had to vomit. And I woke up, and I couldn't get out of bed. So I was crawling over this guy, trying to get to the bathroom, right? It was like 10 feet away. And I puked all over him. He was also passed out. Puked all over him. And he woke up just screaming bloody murder. Rightfully so, because I puked up like 2 days worth of food all over this guy. And one of our friends that was in the living room busted in to see what was going on. And I'm just sitting there laughing, covered in puke with my cast on. This guy's covered in puke because I puked all over him, and he snapped a picture. And I remember this guy really, really not talking to me for a while because, not because of the incident, like he was pissed off at that, but when his birthday came around, right, I got an 8x10 made and framed it of that picture of me laughing and him covered in puke, and I gave it to him, and he got so pissed. And he literally did not talk to me for months. His name was Guy, and I don't know what he's doing. Probably not getting puked on somewhere. But I was the kind of guy that I would drink liquor because I didn't like beer, so I'd get drunk really fast, and then I would throw all the pool furniture in the pool, and I was that guy. I wanted to have fun. Yeah, but not me, not what I do, not since I was like 17. Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of water in beer, you would think. Was a definite party foul, Frank. I could see wine being good. That's the thing, is like I could see having social drinks being a, you know, a good time, or going and like, I don't watch sports, but like going to the bar, watching whatever sports team you like, and having a beer at the bar. Like, that all sounds awesome, you know? But me, my vice is coffee. I drink coffee, and that's what I like to do. It's kind of boring, but drink coffee, watch horror movies, play horror video games, and chat with you guys. It's literally what I do. But yeah. Time is it? It's 2 a.m. Does anybody have any fun stories? Bobby, you got any fun stories from being inebriated back in the past? Frank, do you drink? I don't know if I've asked you that question before. Yeah, coffee, man. It's one of the best smells. Yeah, powder coffee. So some of you guys may know this. I know Chuck knows this. Frank might know this because I posted a post in the Patreon. So I ran a small coffee business for a while. It was called Ever Black Coffee Co. And a whole lot of fun, right? I would basically buy a whole bunch of coffee, wholesale it, repackage it under my brand, and the brand was very cool. Like, all the bags were like horror themed, and it was really, really gnarly. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I stopped doing that during COVID But man, buying like, I'm talking about 5 pounds of coffee at a time, right? For when I was running this brand, like coffee beans and grinding it up in the house and doing all that. Like, house always smelled like coffee, and it just smelled so good all the time. So, but I will say this, right? On Patreon, I talked about it a little bit, that I may come out with some Cinema Creep coffee in the near future. Probably something I'm going to do next year. So if you like coffee, be on the lookout for that. It's just going to be something that I'm going to add additionally to like the merch store. You know what I mean? Because I just like doing things. And I may have talked about it before, but obviously I've got a small channel. You know, I sub 500 subscribers, but the goal here at Cinema Creep is never to act like a small channel, right? Don't do the things small channels do. You know, that's why, like, I love making merch and having a Patreon with a channel that's, you know, this size. Normally people don't do that till later on. Streaming so often and streaming, you know, for hours, right? You know, the goal is to never act like a small channel. So you were drinking at a bar one night with a friend and fell. Are you okay, Bobby? Were you okay, should I say? You didn't, like, fall and, like, bust your face or knock your teeth out or anything, did you? I was looking at something today that I wanted to show on stream. Let me see if I can find it. Don't remember what the hell it was. I just remember I saved it.
There's a...
What was it? Was this it? Maybe this was it. Let's watch this. So this is from the Stan Winston School YouTube page. There's really no reason that I'm showing this other than it's just something I want to watch, and I know that I've showed the Tom Savini stuff on here before and you guys were kind of into it. So this is Wrong Turn behind the scenes decapitation sequence. It's a 6-minute long video, just showing how they did the makeup for it, or the special effects for it, should I say. So let's just watch it so we have something to watch as we're having these conversations about
scene
life.
Where the actress, her character's name is Carly. She's up in the trees, and one of the mountain men,
I'm glad you were good,
is
Bobby,
going to take an axe and chase her up into the tree, and it's a suspenseful moment, and he's going to take the axe when she doesn't see that he's there, and he's going to chop her through her beautiful face, right through her mouth. There's going to be a shocked look on her eye, and as camera moves, her body's going to fall while the top of her head stays on the axe.
That's
now,
sick.
That's how it's kind of vaguely written. Remember, this is a horror movie, and you want to break that down and say, okay, how do we kill this beautiful girl, and what's the method we're going to do? The first time I took a pass at it, and I was working with Stan, he and I envisioned an animatronic version of the actress, a full body mold. Okay, so you write down full body mold, and each one of these things is a line item. Full body mold.
I need to do a
scan,
franchise ranking of Wrong Turn.
resculpt, and then casting of the skin very realistically, and then making internal mechanisms, a mechanical head, and It has to be resettable, so it was a very complicated rig on a track, on a tree, or maybe on a blue screen pole. So basically she had, what I envisioned was, and what Stan envisioned was, a full animatronic body of a replica of the actress that would be mounted to something that had a mechanical device of the axe that would swing into place, trip a mechanism to allow her artificial body to fall. And it came in at X amount of dollars. And that X amount of dollars was about 3 or 4 times too much for what the producers could pay. They say to me, and they'll be saying to you, we don't want to cut that effect. We cannot cut that effect. What's fun about these movies is you get to know these people, you get to like them, and then all of a sudden they're killed in a horrible way. That's the sensation. That's the horror of it. You have to have,
Frank, I like the wrong
in a
turn
horror
movies.
movie like this, a gruesome death.
I think they're fun.
That's what helps make it fun. So you can't cut that scene out. So they say to me,
And they
they'll
never
call
try
you
to
on
be
the phone,
something
or
that they're not.
They'll come over, or they'll send you an email, and they'll say, go back to the
They're
drawing
very
boards,
self-aware.
figure out how to do it for X amount of money, because that's all we can afford, but we want that effect in the film. So we started thinking, and on that film, the director was Rob Schmidt. He's a fantastic director. And I said, Rob, we have to come up with something. We still want this effect. Tell me what's important to you about this moment, and let's dream something up that we can do. So what we ultimately came up with was a trick we'd learned from Jim Cameron on Terminator 2 was, and it had been done before, but there's a great technique called a whip pan. So Stan said, why don't we do a whip pan from the axe, which is basically to say the crazy cannibal character has an axe in his hand, and the pretty actress has got a cutaway axe in her mouth preset into the tree. There's the elements of blood. It's already there. It's in her mouth already. So we're going to start with the crazy cannibal on his axe, and he's going to make the motion like he's chopping into her face. And basically the camera just goes from him and whip pans to her face. And what he really does is just drop the axe under the camera lens. And so with the added energy and sound effect, you get the effect of whoosh, and it feels to the audience's eye like an axe has actually just gone right into this poor girl's mouth. Now the benefit from that was you didn't have an artificial head at this point. You had an actual living girl who could actually
So
do
I
a lot
like the
more
Hills
than-
Have Eyes
than
movies.
probably a very expensive animatronic could have
Original, the remake. Like them both.
And it might not have maybe looked quite as real at that point. Many circumstances could have happened along the way where, you know, it just wasn't as responsive. You can tell an actress what to do. So that was part one. Okay, so then Rob Schmidt and I went out into the woods. Actually, we actually went out into the woods and tested the technique with some assistance. It was me chopping poor girls in the mouth for like an hour. I think the park ranger system was a little bit upset. We didn't really tell anybody what we were doing, but we got what we needed to do. That gave a comfort level to the director, and it gave a comfort level to me because I could say, okay, this is going to work. Now, what's the next step? We need to have her body fall away. That's still important. What we did then is we devised, since we were going to be on a set, we devised a hollow tree. The tree that she was in was hollow, and she put her body through it and just had her head sticking out. And we put the axe into her mouth again. And if you looked at it, it looked like just the top of her head was sticking on the top of this axe that was stuck into a tree, and there was no body underneath. So now you've got still a living girl. You paint her chin black, or you blacken it out so you don't see underneath. And we did make a much less expensive body replica that was just kind of a floppy body that we could drop. And also then, so the camera goes off of her eye, which dilates, which was a little digital effect on top of her living eye. Camera tips up, and then a digital body, which was a copy of her replica that we made, falls and bounces down through this virtual environment. The lesson there was, we did that for, you know, a third of the cost of what the initial budget was. And it was probably a better effect, because sometimes having less makes you do more interesting work.
So that was pretty gnarly, right? It's interesting to see how they pull off those you know, those cool decapitation scenes, those gory scenes in horror movies. That's why I was saying earlier when we were watching the Dirty Jersey behind the scenes stuff that I really enjoy watching behind the scenes stuff, because it's interesting to see how it's done. And I guess you could be on the other side of the fence and say, hey, I don't like to ruin the magic if you're, you know, somebody that doesn't care. But when I see stuff like that, it always makes me not only want to go out and shoot another film, but it just, like, it's inspirational for me, right? Especially since some of you guys know, right? Like, I shoot horror stuff too, or I was shooting horror stuff a lot years ago, wanting to get back into it, but doing, you know, special effects makeup and stuff like that. Like, it's always cool to see these little tips and tricks, because not only is it helping me in my arsenal of know-how, but it's just really cool to see how they did this movie magic. So let's check out this new Frankenstein that Bobby was talking about. So here it is, right? I had just seen something about this the other day, so I'm glad that you brought it up. So, synopsis here is: Dr. Pretorius tracks down Frankenstein's monster, who is believed to have died in a fire 40 years before, in order to continue the experiments of Dr. Victor Frankenstein. So, this is going to be directed by GDT, that's Guillermo del Toro, and written by GDT. Obviously, Mary Shelley has a credit. She was the original author of Frankenstein. And this stars Oscar Isaac, whoever this guy is, Jacob Elordi, Christoph Waltz, who, if you're a Quentin Tarantino fan, you know him. You got Mia Goth in it as well. David Bradley, Lars Mikkelsen, Felix Kammerer, and who else here do I know? This guy looks familiar. Charles Dance. We're going to look at his stuff in just a minute. Let's see who Charles Dance is. He looks oddly familiar. Maybe he just has one of those faces. What has he been in? Imitation Game, Game of Thrones. Tywin Lannister. He was the Lannister dad. That's who he was. That's how I know him. He was also in Aliens 3, Clemens, which I don't know Alien 3 as much as I do know the first one, but I know him from Game of Thrones. I got into Game of Thrones late after it was all finished, and man, I can't believe that I didn't watch that on TV when it was playing, because I never understood why people were so crazy about it. But man, Game of Thrones, holy shit, that was a good show. Yeah, Charles Dance in Alien 3. There you go, Nick. Frankenstein meets Wolfman. Yeah, that's one of those crazy movies that I was talking about earlier. Has anybody ever seen Guillermo del Toro's studio? If not, I'm going to show you guys a YouTube video about it. I'm going to show you anyways. Because he has his studio, and it's called Bleak House. And it is everything that I want the Cinema Creep studio to be. Obviously, he has way more money than me and way more space than I've got. But I want to show you guys Bleak House. It is a 10-minute video, and it's not a movie. It's basically his studio space. So watch this. If you're into horror, you're gonna like his little spot that he has. So this man has the coolest stuff. Once this ad gets done playing. Is this an ad about butts? What is this? All right, check this out.
Hi, I'm Guillermo del Toro, and I welcome you to the Chronos Device Extras. We thought we would include an extra that has never been seen. Kronos being my first movie is kind of an exploded view of my brain, and it shows everything that is in it. And the perfect way to illustrate a little bit more of what is in it is to show you my house, what I call my man cave or bleak house. That is where I started finally collecting all the articles, toys, books that I've accumulated over 40 years or more of collecting. This house contains every book I've ever read and most every toy I've ever bought. It contains from my first book and my first toy all the way to now, and props and objects from movies, both my own and other people's, that I've been collecting over the years. The house is organized in libraries, and thus the first library is this one, which is Horror and the Occult. In it, I have all kinds of books, from paperbacks, pulp paperbacks, to old 17th century, 18th century, and 19th century original treatises on vampirism, occultism, witchcraft, magic, so on and so forth. And it's full of rare objects and paintings. The house is entirely covered by original art, pre-production art from movies, comic book pages, and so on and so forth. For example, this little guy here is the first book I bought. I bought it in 1971. I was 7 years old, and it was edited as The Best Horror Stories, and it's edited by Forrest J. Ackerman, who was a spiritual mentor and a really important figure in my life. I patterned this house, the bleak house, after him and his famous Acker Mansion, which was in Los Angeles, in the Los Feliz areas, filling it with paintings, toys, and strange objects. I'll show you a little bit more around. Unfortunately for me, and fortunately for you, I cannot show you the whole of Bleak House, because we are building a new room that is going to contain what I call a rain room. It's going to contain another of the libraries, and it's going to be a room where it's going to be raining all day long. This is the art room, which is essentially contains all the art books, including an almost complete run of the Studio magazine published in the 1890s in London that shaped what we think about modern concepts of art. The color of the walls was stolen by me from the paint patterns in John Sloane's house in London. Throughout the house we have peppered different automatons, mobile toys and maquettes. We have whistling automatons, violin playing automatons, and oracles and so forth. My favorites are by an artist in LA called Thomas Kuntz. Now Thomas creates these automatons the old-fashioned way. They are entirely clockwork, and because of that they have to recur to the ingenuity of centuries past. And they have the same patterns and plans and blueprints than the greatest automaton creators did in the past. Thomas has created these things from scratch, and there are several scattered throughout Bleak House. Bleak House was born one fateful evening when I was already occupying 3/4 of the family home, and my wife grew despondent because I was hanging a picture of a lustful corpse by Richard Corbin right next to the kitchen, and she essentially asked for clemency for the girls who were 9 and 14 not to be exposed to such fantastical creations. And I realized that it was an act of emancipation and a gift of freedom to remove all the collection of strange crap, this very odd modern cabinet of curiosities, away from the family home, and to take it somewhere else where I could enjoy it and work in it along with the crew of people that I work in designing movies and so forth. And thus the man cave was found. Much like the antiquarian shop in Kronos, the Jesus Gris shop, the house is full of all types of trinkets. Originals by Edward Gorey, Arthur Rackham, books from the 18th, 19th century, automatons and so forth. But you can also find all kinds of trinkets. You can find pest dispensers, vinyl models, vinyl toys from Japan and otherwise. And in this shelf, I have all the painted and unpainted models that I collected of Harryhausen over the years and other monsters. And that little guy back there, that Pirates of the Caribbean model, is the first model I painted as a kid at age 7 or 8. This bookshelf has my favorite authors, Borges, Mark Twain, Victor Hugo, Carson McCullers, Truman Capote, and mainly Dickens. So it is through Dickens that we access the secret library, which is dedicated to fairy tales, folklore.
You knew he was going to have a hidden room, right? Like,
this library was modeled after the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, and all the art on the walls is a reminder of that. It also has original paintings by Mark Davis, and the original wallpaper that was provided to us by the same company that provided the wallpaper in the foyer of the original Haunted Mansion, the Bradbury Company. You can see the gargoyles from the elevator are here too. And this is mainly a great room in which to read and investigate and do some research. So it's a perfect room to make notes on future films and so forth. This is also a perfect room to do model painting. And as I showed you outside in the shelves, you have the first model I painted as a kid, all the way to the last model I painted in Wellington during the pre-production of The Hobbit, which is this little model of Winslow Leach of Phantom of the Paradise, one of my favorite movies. There's plenty of toys and collectible masks of that movie in the house. In this room, in the shelves, you can find first editions of the colored fairy tale books of Andrew Lang, and first editions of The Wizard of Oz, and all 14 books of L. Frank Baum, and many of the Victorian gift books that were illustrated by Arthur Rackham, Edmund Dulac, John Tenniel, and so forth. And the beauty of these books is not the collectible value of them. It is really that when you open them and you read them, you can evoke accurately and perfectly the feeling of reading, the feeling of wonder you had reading them as a kid. Since the house was modeled after the curiosity cabinets in old Europe that were meant to entertain, thrill, and educate, you will find peppered through the house very strange marine biology specimens, Fiji mermaids, octopus's tentacles, skeletons and skulls, complete specimens of strange birds and malformed children, and even replicas, exact replicas, both clockwork and steam, of large machines in the real world. Another of the inspirations for the Bleak House, for the man cave, was the original research library at Disney Studios. And the philosophy that when you create a group of extraordinary artists, you should definitely feed their imagination with all sorts of images. We have in the house some frames from Gertie the Dinosaur by Winsor McKay, pre-production art by Ivan Derl, Sleeping Beauty, Fantasia, that surrounds the artist. But the idea is to create an environment that allows them to be stimulated not just by what is called high art or fine art, but by even the powerful images that come from toys or pop art or vivid imaginations. So everything in the house, for me, has the equal importance. Whether it's a rubber toy or an anatomical model, whatever it is, it's here to try and provoke sort of a shock to the system and get circulating the lifeblood of imagination, which I think is curiosity. When we lose curiosity, I think we lose entirely inventiveness, and we start becoming old. So the man cave or Bleak House was designed to be sort of a compression chamber where we can create a stimulating environment surrounding the artist with thousands of magazines, books, and in this case, in this, which is the screening room, 7,000 DVDs, hundreds of Laserdisc, Betamaxes, VHSs, and the walls full of art by people that we all admire, be it Ivan Derl or Nightmare Before Christmas pre-production art, Kay Nielsen, Bill Titla, Basil Gogos, etc. So you see, this house grew out of the fact that we could not hang one painting in a kitchen, and we ended up creating a house that is perhaps not suitable for everyone, but is perfectly suitable for me. As a strange animal, this is my terrarium, and I promise you further excursions to the nether regions of the man cave, Bleak House, in the future. I hope you enjoyed it.
So how gnarly was that, right? That was a cool watch. So that was 4 years ago. I wonder if his rain room ever got posted. I'm YouTubing his rain room right now. Not seeing anything. So if you ever want to watch this again, it's called Guillermo del Toro's Bleak House. So Paul Booth, the tattoo artist? I probably have. I used to be a pretty big Paul Booth fan. Let me see. Hang on. Let me see if I can Google it. Oh yeah, I've seen this, but I'll put it up and we can watch it together.
This is the Google Pixel 9, and this
Yeah, Bleak House is really, really cool.
an image of wide receiver gloves made out of butter. Their guys have been dropping stuff all day.
Try gummy vitamins from Nature Made.
So while this ad is going on, oh, never mind.
Welcome to my lair.
So if you don't know, Paul Booth is a tattoo artist.
I am going to show you some things from my collection. Oddities, weird stuff, cool stuff. I brought out 5 pieces that are some favorites of mine that I'll show you. Top 5 might be tough because, well, some of them I just can't show you. My first acquisition to my collection that I consider the first, it's probably close to 30 years ago, and it was a fetus in a jar that was pickled in 1885. That got me going. I started collecting fetuses, and I think it's really because I'm intrigued with the whole idea of life and death symbolically in the same place, in the same inanimate object. This is a monkey fetus. He's a cool little guy. It's funny how in these early stages of life, so many animals and humans resemble each other so much. Kind of makes you wonder. So many people think they're not animals, but at the end of the day, we're nothing but animals. We just are capable of rational thought. That's really the only difference. But we certainly act like animals every day. Where is the line for me in collecting? You know, I probably would keep all of my appendages. I'm collecting myself when I die, actually. I'm sculpting my casket now. Not a casket, it's a, I guess you call it my tomb, but it's basically my death wish is I want to design a biomechanical fortune-telling booth. I want to be placed, taxidermied and placed in it, and I want my arm animated over the crystal ball. And I'm writing out the worst fortunes you could possibly get ahead of time so that when I die, I get placed in the tomb, the fortune-telling booth. Hopefully, last rites will live on without me, at which point I can be placed in my shop as a museum piece. And for a quarter, you can get a fortune from me. And I promise they'll be miserable and filled with doom. If they won't taxidermy me, then the next attempt will be having my brain put in a jar. You know, because after all, we all need a brain in a jar, you know. Kind of like this one. When I need to think hard, I bring out my brain. This is a medical specimen that I obtained years ago. I don't know who it was. Usually when you reach the science realm, much like my realm, your name is no longer significant. It's more about the object than the history. I call it Abby Normal. What is my most cherished piece in my collection? I'd have to say I can't tell you. Sometimes when I have people that are like newbies that are with a friend and they're coming in here and they're looking around and they're like, wow, this is crazy, you know. They're not sure if they're scared or intrigued, and you know, and when I see them right at the height of their not sure if they should be scared or intrigued, I say, you know, that's a baby casket right there. And they look down and they're like, is there a baby in it? And I go, I don't know, we could open it and find out. Most of my collection, I don't really, you know, I like the background info, but
I'll just show you guys my baby
It's
casket.
not, I don't hold a skull and say, this was a person once. To me, it's, you know, once you're dead, you're dead. You know, that head story I just did freaked out a lot of people. They couldn't believe that I would even hold a human head, you know, at all. And see, for me and other people that collect skulls, it's just a skull that happens to have some meat on it. You know, it's, at the end of the day, it's still just a skull. Why is it, if I have a collection of skulls, that's a lot more acceptable than one head with some meat on it? All those skulls had meat on them at one time as well, so I don't really see the difference. Call me a sociopath, but I don't see the difference. This, as you can see, is deformed. The way the skull is twisted and so on. This is actually a museum artifact that I got from a guy. It turns out I bought this for 250 bucks as part of a collection. It was a friend of mine, and he, after I got it, about a week later, 2 weeks later, he gets in touch with me and he says, I need to get that skull back. Turns out it's pre-Columbian, and it dates back over 850 years. And the green mold that you see on the face is actually from the copper that it was buried with, stained the bone. So this is over 850 years old, and it's part of my museum. A collection got away. I was approached with an entire collection. I mean, piles of stuff, that specimens in jars and oddities and, you know, two-headed baby, things like that, you know, real stuff. And I was approached to buy it, but the guy wanted like 150 grand for the collection, and I didn't have that kind of money laying around at the time, and I had to decline. He wouldn't split the collection up at that time, so I missed out on the mother lode. If I only had 150 grand laying around, you know, I would have spent it on that. The way I deal with the regret of losing or trading a piece from my collection really is I don't trade my stuff. I keep everything. I'm a collectible hoarder. I have never traded or given or sold any piece I've ever obtained. I've kept everything, except that head. Yeah, over the years I've traded tattoos for pieces all the time. A lot of times that's how I would obtain good portions of my collection, was like, hey, I'll tattoo you for that, or here's, I'll give you this if you tattoo me. You know, that happens all the time. People know what I like, you know, and if they come across something, they call me. Got this from a fan in Indonesia, Tibetan skull. Real skull, authentic. These you've seen before, but this one is the best one I've seen. It's carved and adorned, of course, but silver. It's a really nice piece, actually. Everywhere I go in the world, I usually bring something home with me, whether it's a gift or something I found in a little obscure antique shop, down some side street, whatever. I always try and bring something home. So there's things in this room from all around the world. If I could be set loose in the basement of the Vatican for one day, there aren't enough shopping carts for the shit I'd pull out.
Hi, Mickey.
Well.
Are you experiencing any vertigo?
We'll hang on. Never mind. We're back.
And imagine what they have amassed in their collection. Mine, I'm sure, pales in comparison. I can't tell you how many years I've been wanting a legitimate shrunken head. Everyone that I've come across over the years has been a monkey head, posing as a human. It's hard to distinguish, you know. You really can tell pretty straight ahead by the hair. Monkey hair is a lot more coarse than human hair, so that's usually the giveaway. Here is a very unassuming dead mouse in a jar. What makes it special? Well, this mouse is a $20,000 mouse. I have 4 of them, and they have human skin. They're genetically engineered mice that were the early days of when they would grow ears on mice. These are the mice they grew the ears on and whatnot, but his skin is human, genetically modified. He's a GMO mouse. I guess when I think about what is the unholy grail for my collection, what would be the piece I would love to obtain more than anything else, it's more about pieces, not a piece. I want to build that Frankenstein monster. I don't necessarily want to put life into it, but I want to build it and put it in a big ass jar. I want to assemble a monster just to assemble it, you know. I used to tattoo a genetic engineer, and for years I would bust his chops about helping me splice my genes with various animals and get them to at least reach a fetal stage so that they can be put in a jar, like bat paw, rat paw. There's a vibe to this place, a collective vibe, you know. It's dark and creepy, but it's warm and inviting at the same time, and that's kind of the science behind what I do. I want people not sure whether they should laugh or cry, and this place does that. People that get it and that are into dark art and, you know, dark things understand, and they feel right at home here. So, are there ghosts in my collection? I suppose there could be, but none of them are haunting me. Now there's more of you that may dig where I'm coming from, and I'm sure there's more of you that hate me to death, and I'm fine either way, really. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you when I have some cool shit to show you.
Well, he definitely had some cool shit, for sure. Like, appreciate you, Frank, throwing that one out there. I feel like I've seen a shorter version of that before, but yeah, he has some really, really gnarly stuff. So, I know some of you guys may know, some of you may not, that I collect oddities, and me and my wife, we have curio cabinets in the house. You know, I tried to get a human skull from some guy who priced it really high one time, and then now he won't sell it to me. So the human skull is something I'm after. I think it would just be cool to have that in the collection. But we have, of course, you know, taxidermy. We have like medical instruments, and we have a lot of stuff like that, right? Weird bugs and insects, and, you know, specimens in jars, and a lot of bones. I'd have to show you guys at some point. Maybe like a Patreon video. I can do like a little house tour. But I do have a baby casket. It's actually just really right over here. So if you guys want to see that, I'll show it to you. Again, the same guy who had the human skull, I bought this baby casket from. He didn't want to sell it to me at first. Had to talk him into it. And oddly enough, how this Paul Booth said he paid $250 for his human skull. I paid, I think it was either $250 or $275 for this baby casket and creepy ass doll that came with it. But if you guys want to see it, I'll show it to you. It'll just take me like 30 seconds to a minute to go over here and get it. But does anybody else out there in chat collect anything weird? Does anybody collect oddities, collect taxidermy? Frank, you could will me your skull. Like, you could write that in your will. I just want you to know. I mean, I know where I can get some. It's just going to require a lot of digging. And I don't know why, like, oddities are cool. I don't know why human skulls are cool. And it's not from, like, a weird, like a weird thing. You know, I find it very interesting, like Paul Booth was saying, from, like, a scientific aspect. You know, I'm not doing experiments and tests on these things, but I just think it's so just gnarly to see these different, not just parts of your body, but parts of your body once they've been removed. And it kind of brings things into perspective, just knowing that, like, we're all just bones under just, like, meat out here walking around. And it's so just really trippy if you think about it, because it makes everything look so insignificant. And, I don't know. It's just crazy to think that, like, one, about our genetic makeup, two, we're all just a pile of bones. And seeing all of these other little oddities, like he was talking about a two-headed baby or like a deformed skull, all of these like medical anomalies, and being able to look at them and hold them up close or see them in specimen jars is really, really interesting. That's one of the reasons that we collect. Yeah, let me get this thing. I'll show it to you guys. Like I said, I don't believe in the supernatural, but if there was something in my house that was haunted, this would be one of those things. Give me just a second. Okay, I think you guys can see that, right? So, it's this old pine box. And it's got a little bit of weight to it. Right? Here's the top of it. Here's the bottom of it. So I tried to date it. There's obviously really no real way that I can date it. I know that it's probably pre like 60s, you know, and he even had this creepy doll inside it. Let me show you this. This is what makes it like look super haunted. And if you look up close, I think she's... Yeah. So this is my haunted doll in a baby casket. All right, I'm going to go put this away. Yeah, so my house is full of weird shit. Weird shit like that. And you know, obviously Paul Booth's his collection is way more gnarly. Dude has more money than me. If I had that amount of money, I would probably be buying all the same shit that him and like Guillermo del Toro have. But you know, we got a moderate collection. I do have a study in my house that's full of weird books, weird medical books, weird like, I guess you could call them like books of the occult and just weird stuff like that we've collected over the years, and we just have, you know, like these bookshelves. It's like a typical study, but you know, it's just full of weird shit like that too. But yeah, maybe on the Patreon or something, I'll give you guys a tour of the curio cabinets and some of the other weird stuff that we have, because it's all throughout the house. Oh man, I feel weak. I don't know why that took so much out of me to lift that thing up. It's kind of heavy. Hang on, I'm rolling over my headphones here. But yeah, so baby casket. So funny enough, if I had, so my studio's kind of long that way. Like where you see when I shoot my regular videos, I have another desk, and in front of that, I probably have 6 feet after that. And I've toyed with the idea of putting a wall up down the middle, and then making bookshelves, and then and then like making like a hidden room from one side to the other, like what Guillermo del Toro had. But I just need more space to have like a secret room going through a bookshelf. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I am haunted now. Thanks a lot, guys, for making me show that. Now I'm gonna be completely drained of all my energy for the next week. But yeah, love weird stuff. Yeah, like you were talking about, Bobby, the streets below Paris, the catacombs, right? Did you say Paris? Yeah, let's see if we can find anything on the catacombs. So I am completely down for like you guys to always recommend whatever videos here on the Friday Night Creepshows. It doesn't have to just be horror movies. It can be weird videos. It can be stuff like we watched GDT's thing or Paul Booth's, or stuff like the Hidden Catacombs of Death. Like, we won't watch this tonight. Maybe we'll watch this next week because this is 44 minutes long. But on the History Channel's YouTube, right, they have this right here, the Hidden Catacombs of Death. Like, we could watch something like this, right? Or, anything like that. Like, I'm down to watch whatever you guys want on the Friday Night Creepshows. Or if there's something you want to watch that's true crime or anything like that. Like, it doesn't have to just be horror movies. Like, it could be a horror movie plus this other stuff. See if there's here's a shorter video. Let's watch this one. This one's 7 minutes.